Shalom and good evening from Eretz Israel. I had a really amazing day today, and I did the morning update before we left for the synagogue, and I wanted to do the conclusion of the day. I have a third part of this video, which will be we recorded the trumpet blasts for you. We were able to do that. We couldn't show you the gentlemen who were actually blowing the shofar, but we just held our recorder so you can hear the trumpet blast. It's an amazing time that we live in when we can come to the land of Israel and interact with our family and our friends and the people in the land and observe the feasts and participate in the feasts. And I had a really good talk with Sarah today, and we were talking about the scripture where it says, "Take heed what you hear, with what measure you meet, it will be measured unto you." And I think that's really important as we enter into our season of life, and as we enter into seeing so many believers returning to Torah obedience. When you're reading Torah and following Torah, I just want to encourage you to believe by faith in what you can do, and don't put roadblocks up in front of your feet and say, wow, it'd be amazing to go up to Jerusalem 3 times a year, or even once a year. Put your faith out. If you believe the Torah is valid for today, and that means the call to come up to Jerusalem is there. We understand there's no temple, but this is still God's land, and He promised people who would cling to His Shabbat, cling to His commandments, that He would bring them. And yes, I do understand about the final redemption and the resurrection from the dead and what God plans on doing with this place at the coming of the Mashiach. But I just want to encourage you, don't let anything keep you back from believing that next year in Jerusalem is anything but next year in Jerusalem. And don't let your next year in Jerusalem always be next year in Jerusalem. We had a 3-hour, I think the service was about 3 hours. And that's new for some of us, not me. But for some people, that's new, 3 hours of steadfastly reading scripture and praying and blowing trumpets and singing songs. But that was Rosh Hashanah's prayer service, and I looked at Numbers chapter 8 when Ezra read from early morning to noon. So that's longer than our 10 a.m. to noon, or 1. And that's something believers need to grasp, is that to immerse yourself in the study of Scripture, to immerse yourself in the feast day. It's not about getting done and getting home. It's about immersing yourself in the spiritual things that God has offered for His special day. I enjoyed my meeting new people, as I always do, and it's just really special to be able to meet people from Holland and from all around the world who have returned to Torah obedience. And today is no different. I keep meeting more and more people, and we just keep celebrating what God has done and what God is doing. And I just want to encourage everybody to keep pressing in. 'Tis the season, and keep going for God with all your heart. Okay? Tomorrow is day 2 of Rosh Hashanah. I think I'm headed to the Western Wall, and we'll be just sitting there hearing the shofar, maybe doing a little shouting ourselves, and offering prayers to the Almighty. And so I just bless you, and Hag Sameach.